Hello, everybody, and welcome to the show. My name is Jared Lee, and I'm joined, as usual, by my lovely wife, Jamie Lee. So, Jamie, how are you doing?
I'm doing well, Jared. How are you?
I'm good. For those wondering, we live in an area where I suppose it's a hurricane warning. I don't know what you would call it around here, but we live in Florida, so everybody in Florida was under a hurricane watch, I suppose you would call it. But where we're at in the St. Augustine area, we're good. We actually really didn't even do anything here too much. It went rather north of us, so we had some rain and some wind, a little, but it wasn't bad. And hopefully everybody that was impacted in Florida is okay. I saw a few things there was some flooding and everything like that, but yeah.
As far as major damage, like compared to last year with Hurricane Ian, this is nothing like that. This was way more tame. The category of storm was less. I think it was just got to a 3, maybe a 2.
I heard some people saying it I woke up this morning in there's a neighborhood Facebook group, and some people in there were saying it got upgraded to a category 4, but I never saw anything that actually said that. But
I didn't either.
It was, whether it's a category 1, 2, 3 or whatever, you don't want to be in the way of that if you can avoid it.
Sure. Yeah. And there were gusts today. It rained here and there, but thankfully nothing, too bad for this area. And like you said, the path, it just completely shifted north. It didn't even come close to us, really. So
that's the thing about hurricanes is I liked it. So being from the Midwest, I hate tornadoes. I like hurricanes in the sense that they're coming, so you can plan for them. But the frustrating thing about a hurricane is they just change so much. So it's really hard, because we were looking at potentially going to Orlando when, I think on Monday we were talking about it because for one reason, there were really, really cheap rates. We could stay at Dockside over at Universal for $65 a night starting out, and then it was All-Star Music?
All-Star Music and All-Star Sports, it was $99.
Yeah.
That was with an AP discount on both of those places.
Yeah, so we were looking at that and just being and then as we just kind of let's just, if we don't have to, let's not do it. And so we decided to stay here. But yeah, I was in the office / studio today working, and I would hear the gusts would come in. I was mostly trying to make sure that we have some stuff in the backyard that, grill covers and things weren't being blown away, but nothing was, not that I could see, nothing was bothered. But
yeah,
so rather uneventful here, and I think rather uneventful for Disney and Universal for the most part because they stayed open.
They did stay open, and it did rain. It rained more there than it did here, I think.
I figured
it
probably
makes sense because it started out lower. I mean, whatever. Hurricanes are a mystery to me still. But
how are they a mystery to you?
The way they work, it's just, I'm a newbie still in Florida, and I'm still learning. So.
I didn't know what you meant by they're a mystery to you.
They're a mystery. But yeah, Disney was doing their part by opening up hotel room reservations for 50% off for people that needed to evacuate because of the hurricane and first responders. So that was nice. And they had plenty of room because this is a very slow season right now. This week, very, very slow. And I was telling Jared before we went, started recording here, that the wait times today for all the parks, across the board, just the lowest I've seen in years.
Yeah.
We're talking just opened after the pandemic low.
Well, it makes sense.
5 minutes everywhere.
I am curious of those, how much, because from everything we were looking at, it never seemed like Orlando was really in a direct vicinity. It wasn't anything like last year.
Right.
So I am curious. I'm sure some people did cancel or reschedule. I'm curious as to how many that would be versus just how many locals just didn't come.
That's probably a mixture.
I'm sure it's a mix, but I would assume not a ton of people canceled because I don't even think MCO shut down.
It did not.
Yeah. So
Tampa did.
Right. Well, Tampa was in the direct path, and most people aren't traveling to Tampa to go to Disney. I mean, some, but most people go to MCO.
They did redirect some flights from Tampa into MCO.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how many, but
it'd be a little bit of a drive if you got to.
It's an hour and a half or hour and 20 minutes. It depends on traffic.
Yeah.
From Tampa to
I thought it was farther than that, but okay.
No.
Maybe I'm thinking from here, but yeah. So either way, we're good, I think, and hopefully it. I just hope when it goes out east, it doesn't come back. Sometimes hurricanes can actually like circle back.
Hope not.
So I hope it doesn't. Hope it decides just to stay out there and not make a comeback. But
that'd be great.
But yeah, so we're all good here and all that stuff.
Hope everybody out there is safe and not no damage, no injuries, no anything like that. So we hope y'all Floridians are doing okay.
Yes, and everybody I suppose on the East Coast as well. I know. Georgia and South Carolina may get a little stuff in there, but
they get some.
Maybe I think so, but hopefully Jim Cantori just leaves. He can just go.
That dude, he was in where was he? Coral Creek, Crystal River, something like that. Cedar Creek Street. I don't know what it was.
You're just naming off random things that start with C now.
I saw him.
He was in Croissantville and Catfish Alley, I think.
It was Cedar something.
He was somewhere, yes.
Thank you. Whatever. Anyway, he was there. I know he was there this morning because I saw like a little clip of him talking about it. But like, yeah, he's a good dude to get into the dirt of the storm, if you will.
The dirt of the storm.
I couldn't think of what to say. The dirt
Jamie's
of the storm.
Making up cities.
Sorry.
I did see a reel where somebody posted that Jim Cantori just shows up places and people are like, oh no, and they all just run away. Yeah. It's got to be a bad feeling. But anyways, so yeah. So we're not going to talk about hurricanes today and what we know about cities that start with C's.
I hope not.
We'll just make some stuff up. We do have some news to talk about, and then we are going to, in our discussion part, we're going to talk about beaches and cream that we ate at and some lightsaber training that you can do that is a little bit cheaper, perhaps, than doing it in the parks.
Maybe not.
Maybe not.
We'll talk about it.
It'd be interesting either way. But before we get to the news, just want to remind everybody, if you're watching us on YouTube, subscribe to the channel, leave a like, and if you're listening to us podcast, leave a review if you wouldn't mind. We'd greatly appreciate it. And if you want even more content, you can look at joining Club 32, which is our private group where we do a lot more interacting and additional shows. We have Club 32 show, which is a live stream every Tuesday evening. We have Cool Kids Kitchen. We have the Club 32 Speakeasy. I think we're going to start some trivia that we're going to do. Mm-hmm. Trying to figure out
we're going to start that in September.
Yeah, the logistics of that. There's a private podcast feed. There's a private Facebook group and Discord. And you get 20% off of CTM apparel and 1901 Candle Company products as well. So if you want to join there, you can go to ctmvip.com. And we have monthly or yearly options, and it's really the best place if you want to contribute to the show or just a little more interaction, whatever. That's the place to do it again. So ctmvip.com is where you go for that. So, all right, well, let's get to the news. First story we have is extended evening hours are now coming to Animal Kingdom.
Yeah, this is the first time this has ever happened. Starting, I think November 8th is the only date we see on the calendar for extended evening hours at Animal Kingdom. But yeah, it's from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. for those hours. And everything's kind of shifted. We talked about this, I think, last week or 2 weeks ago. Everything is kind of shifted for extended evening hours this fall and into, I'm sure, the winter. So Magic Kingdom is not offering extended evening hours past mid-September, I believe, or late September. And then it shifts over to Hollywood Studios, but Epcot's still doing it. And then now Animal Kingdom is taking over. So that should be interesting. I think I would really enjoy Animal Kingdom after hours. Although, how many attractions do they have that you could probably do? Probably not that many. But that's Pandora would be.
Yeah. I mean, Pandora at night is really cool.
Absolutely.
That's just the issue with Animal Kingdom. There's not as many attractions to spread people out with.
Right.
But,
right. But it's 7 to 9 is fairly early for extended evening hours because 7 o'clock is not that late. You know what I mean?
Right,
so
yeah.
I feel like a lot of people would utilize that more than it being like later at night with like other parks.
Yeah. Well, it'd definitely be more family friendly if you got littles and stuff.
Sure.
Funny enough, I remember it wasn't that long ago. Animal Kingdom wouldn't even open past 6 o'clock.
Yeah, 5 or 6. I think when they first opened, for the first couple years, and even I don't know, maybe even like 7-8 years ago, they said they weren't going to be open late because of the animals.
The animals told us okay.
And the animals were apparently like, we're fine now. You can go ahead and stay open late.
They had a Lion King moment. Like, it's okay. Like, all right.
But anyway, so that's coming for deluxe guests and DVC resort guests.
Well, there you go.
Yep.
But just one date, correct?
So far, just the one, but
Yeah.
that's just because the calendar has not been created past that.
Right,
So,
yeah. Once they update it, we maybe see some more. I guess they maybe see how the first one goes and go from there.
maybe.
So, all right. Next bit of news we have is that there is another way to book dining plans now.
Yes. So Disney has said there's a ticketless packages with dining plans are available. So you can book these through Walt Disney Travel Company for stays beginning January 9th, 2024. So this is basically for guests who have back-to-back reservations at Disney hotels by allowing them to book a room and dining plan without having to add tickets to the package. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So if you have like a split stay, this enables them to not have to have another set of tickets to have the dining plan, which I know was a big issue,
Right.
you know, before. So these special packages will need to be booked over the phone directly with Disney reservations, or you can contact your travel agent, Zip Travel with zip.com. So you can do that if you need it. Now I'm guessing if you are an annual pass holder, you can do this as well, where you can just have a room only reservation and book the dining plan.
I would assume probably.
So, I mean, that wasn't clear yet. Like, I'm not sure if it's exactly going to be like that, but I would have to think that it would be.
I'm sure we'll find out.
Yeah. So we need to ask Kendra.
Well, I mean, I think we've seen Disney, to their credit, be much more lately responsive to what the customer feedback is or guest feedback is a little bit. So I think this is them again seeing this was a nuisance for people that are doing split stays, and they're trying to make it a little easier. So in that sense, I think that's a good thing to adjust it like this.
Oh yeah, I think this is very positive. So I'm happy to see this. This will be good for everybody.
That's one where you go, good job, Disney.
Thank you.
And then they did something else. I forget what we were talking about, where they made it more complicated. I'm like, no, bad Disney. Don't do that. Sometimes a knee jerk is like, make it complicated. Like, no, stop doing that. Don't do that. But no, this was good. So,
yeah.
All right. The next bit of news we have is a short one, is that the opening night of Disney Jollywood Nights at Hollywood Studios is sold out.
And just as a reminder, this is the Hollywood Studios I guess it's not an after hours thing, but it's a special ticketed event, kind of like Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party, but it's a jazzy.
I feel like it's an adult Christmas party.
Kinda over at Hollywood Studios, which is it's very like old Hollywood feel. Like they have like a lounge, they have like a speakeasy. They've got special characters, food, stuff like that. So
I am curious because you're going to be going to this. So
yes.
I am curious how this will go. It does sound like a lot of fun. I mean, I would like to go, but
you can't now.
I can't.
Sold out.
I know. I'm saying I will live vicariously through you, because I'm sure you will vlog it as well. But
yeah,
I am curious how it'll go, because it sounds cool. Like I do like the idea of that, because I like that we've talked about like the Sunset Boulevard era, doing something with Christmas with that. I think I think that if you could do some small things there, it's an easy win.
Well, there's only 10 events or 10 nights that they're doing it this year. And this is just the first one, which is on November 11th, which is the first night.
I mean, they're for sure just feeling this out to see how people respond to it.
I personally am very excited. This is very much in my neck of the woods kind of thing I like. Man, my words tonight are just terrible. Neck of the woods.
I mean,
that's terrible.
I get what you're saying.
My brain hurts.
But
okay.
I didn't know. I mean,
this is
in Jamie's neck of the woods. Yes.
This is my wheelhouse.
There you go.
Better? Okay.
Yeah, that's in your wheelhouse.
Disney Jollywood Nights is in my wheelhouse.
In your sweet spot.
In my sweet spot of things that I'm interested in. So I'm excited to dress up. I'm excited to do all the things they're offering. So I will be reporting back on the podcast and through vlogging form.
Yes. That also is your neck of the woods.
Yes.
Okay. Well, thank you. All right. Next news story we have is that there is yet another lawsuit involving Disney Plus. And this one is a different one. Sounds very similar from the one that was filed a few months ago.
Yeah, I'm not sure much about this. I just know that it's about the investors are.
So it's a group of investors that are essentially they're suing litigations that dealing with the efforts to boost subscriptions for the Disney Plus streaming service. So it's essentially alleging fraud by being accused of lying about the extent of its losses to hit lofty subscriber growth targets and claiming that the streaming service was on track to achieve profitability by the end of 2024. And then the investors detail a scheme to, quote, inappropriately shift costs, which has been accused in another lawsuit, by debuting content created for Disney Plus on legacy platforms to move marketing and production costs. So I don't know the differences between this one and another one. This may just be a different set of shareholders, but it's essentially the same thing as last time, which is what they were doing. And if you followed the whole Disney Plus, revenue is, it's lost money. I mean, it's never made money, but a couple of quarters it was getting to $1 billion a quarter in quarters in loss. And so what they would do is they'd say, I can't remember the show specifically, but there was a show that was created for Disney Plus. Before it debuted on Disney Plus, they would debut it on Freeform or ABC or something, and then they would take those costs associated with the show and put it on those networks, and that way it wouldn't show up on Disney Plus. So again, like as last time, I don't know the legality of that, and if quite honestly, I think if you were to look at most giant corporations, you'd probably find some sort of, moving around of funny, accounting here and there. So I don't know the legality of it, but it is the third lawsuit to do with Disney Plus in the past year. So either way, it's not a good look for Disney, especially while Disney Plus is not doing well. And then you have the writer strike. So yeah, it's not, and the stock price is the lowest it's been in like a decade, I think I read the other day. It's definitely not doing well.
Yeah.
But which goes along too, which we were talking about. And this is just one, I don't even know where to put this, is they came out, so the Ahsoka show premiered on Disney Plus. And I know some people are excited about it. I know it's based off, Ahsoka's from Clone Wars, and a lot of this story is from Rebels, which I watched both of those. But they came out and said that 14 million households viewed Ahsoka, like the first episode, which is interesting. And I only bring this up in the view of these lawsuits, in that Disney has never once released any sort of metrics for any shows before. So just to release this number as 14 million households viewed it, you're just left going, okay.
Well, the most they said is this is the most watched, or this was the most watched this week, or
they said the most
very
watched.
General.
Yes, like basically like this month or this week on Disney Plus, which I would hope so.
Right.
But again, there's nothing to compare it to. Mm-hmm. And you have other things, like you have Nielsen ratings and you have Samba TV, which Samba TV, it measures like smartphone, or not smartphones, smart TVs and like Roku boxes. So like those types of things. They had came out and said basically the first 6 days, 1.5 or 1.6 million households had viewed it. So those are very different numbers. Now, again, it's best to compare Samba numbers to Samba numbers because it's just two different ways to measure it up. But I just don't even know where to put it. And part of me, I'm just sort of like, I don't know if I believe you. Like, I don't know where to, because again, my thing is, and I think most people would agree with me here, Game of Thrones was a cultural phenomenon show that was huge. And at its peak, I believe it had 18 million viewers.
Okay.
At its peak. So they're claiming that Ahsoka has similar numbers to Game of Thrones, but from what I can tell, I don't see the cultural significance or the chatter about it like you did with Game of Thrones. I'm not saying people aren't enjoying the show. I have no idea, but it's just interesting in lieu of this lawsuit. We're just and Kathleen Kennedy came out with some announcement basically congratulating themselves about this number. But again, there's nothing to compare it to. What I want to know is, okay, if 14 million households viewed it, first off, what's a view? What are you counting as a view? Mm-hmm. What were the season 1 and season 2 ratings for Mandalorian?
Because I feel like that was a bigger deal than Ahsoka.
By far. And I want to know, what are the Bluey numbers then? Because that is the biggest thing on your streaming platform. So if Ahsoka's 14 million, Bluey's got to be 30. That's just you have to me, at least what I want to know is I want to see comparison numbers. Mm-hmm. But this is also why a lot of the streamers like the streaming stuff is because they don't have to release those numbers, and they don't for the most part. Netflix has a few times over the years, so there's some comparison there. But this is the first time Disney's ever came out and said anything specific about their numbers for a show.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It came out after the Samba TV numbers did, so it makes you wonder if it's obviously a little bit of a optics play, to put it nicely.
Yeah, well, I mean, if they come out and say like, oh my gosh, all these people are watching it, then it's like, oh, I should be watching it too if I haven't already. You know what I mean? Like, it's just they want you to do
it
it.
Also comes with the back, especially Lucasfilm. You've got, the Indiana Jones movie not doing well, and Disney, movies lately haven't done well, and then obviously Disney Plus has been struggling. So I guess I'll just look at it and say that's a nice number. I just want to see what the other numbers are for other stuff. That's more or less my question. And what are you counting as the things? But we may never see that. I just thought it was an interesting thing that they released because they've never done that before. I just have questions.
You have questions.
But yeah. So, all right. And the last thing we have is a rumor.
The rumor is that the Cake Bake Shop by Gwendolyn Rogers is not going to be opening until 2024. Now, this is the new Cake Bake Shop that's going to be on the boardwalk that's replacing ESPN Club. And it has been under construction for a while, and it's moving very slowly. I don't know if you've seen the most recent pictures, Jared, but the progress has been very slow. And so they have changed on the website, and I think they changed the signage. It's not said opening 2023, it just says coming soon.
Yeah.
That doesn't bode well for a 2023 opening.
No. Now, I don't know if you know this about me. I'm somewhat of a theme park construction expert myself, not expert.
Oh.
Not expert.
You're theme parking.
I was doing the William Devane meme. I look at a lot of construction on theme parks, but I did see a few of these. It's interesting. Now, I don't know, is this construction, is it all Disney, or is it this Cake Bake Shop? Are they I don't know how that works when it comes to I would assume it's Disney because it's on Disney property, in the boardwalk.
I would assume it's Disney construction because, like you said, it's their store. And I think if it's like a chain or have multiple locations outside of Disney, then they're just going to rent out the space or pay a fee or whatever it is.
Right, yeah.
Because Ample Hills Creamery used to be in the boardwalk, and they have multiple locations.
Right.
So,
yeah.
I mean, that's just what I'm assuming. But I don't know. But anyway, so it looks like 2024 is probably when it's going to open, not this year like we thought.
Okay.
Yes.
It's just rumor, but it seems like that's probably... It doesn't look like it's going to open anytime soon.
It does not.
Unless they just get it in gear really quick. So, all right. Well, that will do it for the news. But Jamie does have a poll time.
Poll time.
I feel like you should do jazz hands when you do that.
Well, okay, I'll do that next time. And people that are listening can just pretend.
You have to watch it to see the jazz hands.
Okay, there you
see,
go.
That's the thing. You listen and then you go watch it.
Or I'll say jazz hands.
Oh, you could do that.
Do that too. So my poll this week was, what would you say is the best Disney Deluxe Resort hotel? And I did say not DVC, not including DVC in this. And here are the results. 44% said Polynesian Village. That's a big number right there. 44%. Mm-hmm. 14% said Wilderness Lodge. 13% said Animal Kingdom Lodge. 9% said Beach Club, and also Grand Floridian got 9%. Yacht Club got 6%. 3% went to Contemporary, and only 2% went to the Boardwalk.
Boardwalk's not getting much love.
It's really not. I'm not surprised that Polynesian got the top spot. I feel
for that, yeah, I feel like job well done.
Exactly.
Job well done.
It is amazing.
Yeah. You chose wisely.
It is still my favorite. I believe it's still Jared's favorite. And we feel it is the best as well.
Yeah, I've felt that way for a while. I mean, every once in a while, another one will kind of maybe sometimes vie for it, but for the most part, yeah, Polynesian. It's the top one.
Yeah. Which, I was thinking about, we haven't stayed there in a very long time.
Define a very long time.
More than 6 months. No, it's been years.
Jamie sometimes will say, we haven't done this in forever. We did that 6 months ago.
No, it's been years. It's been years, sir.
It's been 2.
Okay. It's been 2. It's been 2.
That's not okay. I just want to be
Okay.
clear. It is 2, but it's not forever.
Okay, I didn't say it was
I
forever.
thought you said we had to stay there
In a
forever.
very long time.
Oh,
is what
sorry.
I said.
Okay. Sorry.
Anyway, so yeah, so it got the top spot. Now, in the poll, I think this is a little confusing, and this is confusing in general to a lot of Disney fans that aren't maybe like plugged in as much as maybe I am. But a lot of people added, like, as the choice, Riviera. And I'm like, no, that's just DVC. And that's confusing, right? Because you think, oh, it's deluxe. It's not DVC. Well, it's strictly just DVC.
Right.
So for those that had to select that one, or you selected that one on the poll, I did have to delete it because it's not, we're not talking about DVC for this one. I will do DVC the next poll and see what happens, because I have a feeling that one's going to be really high. But for this one specifically, yeah, Polly came out on top.
Well, Riviera is like a top 3 for us in terms of resort. Like, love Riviera.
It's my number 2.
Yeah,
it's like very close to Polly.
Yeah,
very close.
I mean, it's just so much smaller. But yeah, so I get it. I mean, but it is technically DVC, which is kind of confusing. One, I will say, I'm a little surprised the Boardwalk was vying for the bottom with the Contemporary.
I know,
because I mean, the Contemporary has some location being the main one and some food options. Mm-hmm. But to me, I would stay at Boardwalk just about every time compared to Contemporary, personally speaking.
Yeah, I would too. Wilderness Lodge being the second one does not surprise me. It
doesn't surprise me. I don't agree with it, but it doesn't surprise me. Like, it's not bad by any means. I mean, personally for me, I guess we can talk about our top 3. Mine would be Polly, and we're talking just Deluxe is here. Mm-hmm. Then I would go Beach Club, and then Wilderness Lodge. But Beach Club and Wilderness Lodge are like vying for like the top, like 2A, 2B. Like, they're kind of even. Because Wilderness Lodge is the one, like, around Christmas time, Wilderness Lodge might go, like, if you're talking seasonally, that might be number 1 during Christmas time. Actually, I'm going to say that's true. If you're talking about at Christmas time, I would prefer to stay at Wilderness Lodge over any other place.
Okay. Well, mine's kind of like that. Polly is number 1, has been forever, I feel like. Number 2 is Wilderness Lodge, and then number 3 is Beach.
So we're basically the same thing.
I mean, pretty much. But if we're talking all resorts all together, I'm just going to fit Riviera right in between Wilderness Lodge and Polly.
See, and I think once you bring in DVC with Riviera, I think I actually go Polly, Wilderness Lodge, and then Riviera. So I think the one that gets pushed out is Beach Club, yeah. So Beach Club isn't actually my number 2, it's my number 3, but
okay.
I just corrected myself. I'm so sorry.
That's
I had to correct myself on my.
Okay, I have something I was thinking of, and I don't know if this is like revolutionary or it's just like, that's kind of interesting.
Revolutionary.
But like DVC and deluxe resorts, there's only one resort out of all of those, or together DVC and deluxe, that is not by a body of water.
Are you trying to get me to guess which one?
Yeah, I want you to guess which one.
DVC does not buy body of water.
Uh-huh.
Now I'm on the spot here.
Can I just tell you? I'll just tell you.
Hold on, let me look at the list real quick. It had to be Animal Kingdom Lodge.
Uh-huh.
I was trying to think I thought maybe there was like a pond back there, but I guess a large one. But okay, yeah, that makes sense.
I really appreciate the body of water next to a resort.
Well, it's very nice. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Like the one next to Wilderness Lodge with having Geyser Point right there it's definitely a nice perk.
In fact, those and the All-Stars are the only ones that don't have a body of water next to them. Yeah. Every other resort does.
Yeah.
Disney's real big on the water.
They are big on the water. I will say, we need to stay at Animal Kingdom Lodge again, because we stayed there well before we started the podcast. And
2015.
Yeah, well, that was about a year before we started the podcast. But I just remember where we stayed. Like, I liked it, but our walk to our room was basically a hike. Like, it was. I just remember that it was like at the very end.
It was on the other side of the.
It was a long walk.
Yeah,
but I do enjoy. I remember I liked it a lot. I think our kids would love it.
I think we should do eventually. soon maybe a staycation where we just do the resort stuff because there's so much to do there.
Yeah. Again, I think we see the animals. I think our son would go crazy.
Oh my gosh. Yes. But anyway, thank you everybody for participating in the poll this week. I will have a new poll next week.
Yes, and if you want to be part of the next poll time, you can do so in 2 ways. You can go join the Capture the Magic Facebook community on, as you might guess, Facebook. And you can also follow us on Instagram at Cap the Magic, where Jamie posts those in the stories over there.
Yes, I do.
So that's where you can find those. So, all right, well, let's get to our discussion today, which we're going to talk about Beaches and Cream, which we haven't been here for over a year. 2 years?
Oh gosh, at least a year, if not more.
Yeah, and then some new lightsaber training that you can do, or different type of lightsaber training that you can do.
Yes.
So let's first talk about Beaches and Cream. So for those that don't know, what is it? Where is it? Where's it from? What is it like?
From?
I don't know.
So it is a restaurant. It is a table service restaurant inside of Beach Club. Technically, if you want to be technical, it is right almost in the middle of Yacht and Beach Club. It's technically in Beach Club section, but it's like right in the point where they kind of converge.
Yes.
It's like kind of right across the entrance of the pool, if you will. And this is a very, I don't know, how would you, soda shop, ice cream shop.
Yeah, I think it's supposed to be like an old school 1950s.
Beachy. Yeah.
I don't even the beachy a little bit. It reminds me of like a 1950s like soda ice cream shop type of thing.
Yeah, and the cast members, they have what they wear is like very, I don't know, 50s 60s diner kind of look.
Yeah.
So
I mean, definitely a diner vibe. Either way.
Diner vibe, yes. And it's I think it's cute. It's very bright in there. They've got a lot of new. Well, I wouldn't say new. I guess a couple of years ago they expanded it, so it's much bigger than it used to be.
Oh, it used to be very small.
Yeah, still hard to get a reservation there.
There's not a lot of seats. How many seats would you say are in here? I mean, I'm gonna say.
Oh, you know what's making me mad right now? We were sitting right next to the plaque that said maximum number, and I did not remember.
I'm just thinking. I don't have the photographic memory like you do, but I'm thinking it's 20 or less. Actual tables.
Oh, you're saying tables?
Tables.
Oh, yeah, I'd say maybe 20 to 25 tables.
I would be surprised if it's over 20. It's not huge.
It's not big at all. But it's cute, and they've got that walk-up window where you can just get, pick up items. If you want to do like ice cream and stuff. But yeah, so we had I think our reservation for was like $210 on the day. And we went with some of our friends that were there, and they made the reservation and everything. And we waited a few minutes to sit down. Now, this restaurant is notorious for running behind.
Yeah, well, not a lot of places to see, and there's no, there's no time limit. So you're just, kind of waiting. So we finally got seated, and there were 8 of us. So we did have a big table, and we kind of sat right by the door, which is fine. But we sat right by the door. Not kinda, we did.
Okay. We sat right by the door. Fine, and not kinda. No, I'm just saying
we did sit right by the door.
Dang, dude. Whatever.
It wasn't a critique. I was just thinking my head was right by that door. I greeted everybody that came in.
That's true. In this place, they have like burgers, they have sandwiches, they have chili, cheese, fries, tots. They have soup, onion rings, but they're, creme de la creme of this resort is the ice cream concoctions, the floats, the sundaes, all that stuff. But what did we get? You remember what we got?
And this time we had the Reuben.
You got to say it like Reuben.
I got to say it that way?
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, Reuben.
There it goes.
I don't know if that's correct, but I'll say it that way. That's what we split that. Because again, I wasn't starving, and you'll find out the other reason why I didn't have a lot of food was because there was a certain thing that was ordered, and that takes up a lot of space. I'll put it that way. So yeah, we had the Reuben, and we got some fries for basically our son and for us to eat on a little bit.
And our daughter, did she get chicken strips? She did, didn't she?
Yeah, no.
I don't remember.
No.
I don't remember what our kids
She got macaroni.
Okay. All right. But anyway, the Reuben was good. We enjoyed it. We split it. I mean, it was a full sandwich, so we each got half.
It was good. I hadn't had
And-
Reuben in a while. I mean, it was basically, it reminded me a lot of how my mom used to make them.
Yeah,
which is like
that's good.
You know, the sourdough bread and all that stuff like that. So it was solid. Yeah.
You mean the rye bread?
I thought it was sourdough. Is it rye?
It's
Oh, it's
rye.
rye. Okay, yeah.
It's rye bread.
I don't know my Reubens that well.
That's okay.
I apologize.
That's okay,
I need
Jared.
to go back to Reuben school.
They had a Reuben school. They just make Reubens all day.
It's a very
long.
niche school.
$19 was how much this was for the entree, and so the other people we were with, they didn't have any. I don't think they ordered any food.
No.
But the reason why is because,
Well, I just want to say before we move
I'm
on,
sorry.
I don't
Excuse
think
me.
the sandwich is worth $19. I'll put it that way.
They're not worth it.
No,
$19? Oh, okay.
it was good, but it like that's a. I mean, I know we're in theme park world here. I know we're at Disney, but like that's a $10 sandwich.
Listen, Jared, you're gonna take whatever price you think it's worth, and you're gonna add 30. You're gonna add 30%, and that's the Disney price.
I know how I understand, but my thing is the pricing here. I was a little bit taken. I shouldn't say taken back. Nothing really taken back too much, but I was surprised because we had just stayed at Wilderness Lodge a couple weeks ago, and over at Geyser Point, their signature burger, which is the
bison burger.
bison. I kept saying buffalo, but it's not buffalo.
You did that last time too.
I know. I don't know why in my head it keeps buffalo. And I'm like, that's not right. The bison burger, which is one of the best burgers on property,
good.
is $20 or $21, which for a burger is pricey. But again, you're at Disney. You're at a deluxe resort. The burgers here, I think, were the lowest one I saw was $19, and the Reuben was $19 as well. So like, I don't know, at that price point, I think that's a bit steep given the quality, because this is it might be a step above quick service, but not much.
Okay.
Again, this is my opinion. I'm not saying the sandwich was bad. I'm just saying I wouldn't rate this as a $19 sandwich that's worth it.
Fair enough. But anyway, so we got the Reuben, and our kids got some food. But the main reason we were there was to get what?
The kitchen sink.
The kitchen sink. And what is the kitchen sink? Do you remember what is in the kitchen sink?
It is all of the ice cream and sweets, and essentially it's it's a giant sink of diabetes that they bring out to you.
So
I don't know what all is in it. I know there's
let me tell you, Jared.
a whole can of whipped cream. I know that.
Yeah, let me tell you. There's 8 scoops of ice cream. So total scoops, but those are vanilla, chocolate, strawberry, cookies and cream, and mint chocolate chip, topped with hot fudge, peanut butter, Snickers pieces, fresh baked brownie, and smothered in every additional topping they have, and a full can of whipped cream. A full can? Sorry.
Oh, they do.
They do that on the thing.
Well, they bring it out to you. There's a whole siren and announcement.
Oh, they do the siren. They do the
Yeah.
announcement. And how many people ordered kitchen sinks when we were there? Like 7?
At least 7. Some
It was a
tables
lot.
ordered 2. But somebody made a dare. And they
Somebody
just
dared
went, They just
somebody.
went for it. 'Cause I think it was a group of 4, and they had 2 of them. And I was like, that's intense.
It's a lofty goal.
That's a level of intensity I am not ready for at this place.
I mean, it's $36 per kitchen sink. So if they got 2, that's $70 worth of ice cream. That's a lot. But yeah, so it serves 4, and there were 8 of us together. But I do want to mention something. So myself and one of the children we were with, that wasn't not our kids, but one of the kids, he had allergies to peanut butter, and there's a peanut butter in this, and she was asking if they could get it taken out or like partially taken out. Anyway, they really couldn't do that, so we just kind of like ate around it. I didn't eat much of it because 1, the peanut butter, and 2, I do not like the mint chocolate chip.
Yeah.
And I got a mint chocolate chip piece, and I was like, this is not my thing.
I'm a little picky on ice cream. And by little, I mean a lot. And I'm not a person that likes a lot of sweets. Like, I love ice cream, but I'll usually get like a small. I don't need a lot of it. You know.
I'm not a big fan of ice cream anyway.
So yeah, when they say it feeds 4, I'm like, I don't know. I think maybe maybe it obviously depends. But
I think 4, like 4 adults could do it. Maybe we're closer to 6 people.
I mean,
maybe? I don't know.
I should say could versus like a typical serving. I feel like you're eating a lot of it, but Yeah, I'm not a big fan of mint chocolate chip. In fact, I'm not going to say that. I hate mint chocolate chip. So I also don't care for like strawberry ice cream too much, like Neapolitan. So for me, mostly it was like it depended on what part you got, whether you were going to really like it or not.
Right. And you can order different versions. You can order like a full like Neapolitan kind, or you can do the chocolate lovers. Like you use a different flavor profile, I guess, of the ice cream. But the main one is what we just said. But I will say it was very cute. It was in an actual like sink bowl that looked like it had a little faucet on it, and it was adorable. And let me tell you, we ate the whole thing. It was gone.
It wasn't mostly us.
No. I mean, like there were 8 of us.
No,
like,
I know. That's what I'm saying.
Shared.
I'm not going to take like credit for eating a lot of it. They did most of the heavy lifting. I had a little bit. Not going to say like I did. Yeah, it was. Yeah, I mean, it's a cute. I think it's definitely more of a novelty thing of like you do it, and there's they make an announcement, and they do the sirens, and all this stuff like that. So I mean, it's in that sense, it's fun, and I get why people go in there to get it. It's like and again, there's a lot of diners. Like if you ever watched, diner shows, they always have some novelty thing. Like some of them have like if you can eat this giant steak, it's free. Now if you eat all this, it's not free, but so it fits into that world, so I get it. But in terms of, I guess, taste and how you like it, would you say this is something that is like good taste wise ice cream? Like, did you like the actual ice cream that you had?
It's good. I like, personally for me, I wouldn't choose to get this just because like I prefer stuff like I don't know, caramel or cookie dough ice cream or something. Like I don't like just ice cream with like the average toppings you get. I guess I'm just really picky, like you said. So I wouldn't choose to get the kitchen sink on my own, I guess, if that's what you're asking.
Yeah, and for us, it was nice that we were able to experience this with other people because, like,
oh my gosh, it was so fun.
It was a lot of fun, but we don't eat that much sweets. And then our daughter will eat ice cream. Our son doesn't really eat ice cream. Mm-mm. So if we were to get it, it would all just go to waste.
Right.
Because I would have like 10 bites and I'd be done. And I'm like you, when I eat ice cream, my preferred thing I get, first off, I'm a big fan of custard over ice cream personally. But I would be like sprinkles with cookie dough. Mm-hmm. Mix that in. And I like crunch with my stuff, like cookies or stuff to like, I don't just like ice cream on its own. So for me, this is not something that, like the brownie pieces in there and the other types of ice cream, it's not something that I would get as like I think this is really good. And the ice cream was, I don't know what type of ice cream they serve. It was okay. It was cream. It was like creamy. Yeah, it wasn't bad. Uh-huh. It just wasn't, I didn't think the ice cream was anything like amazing
to like write home about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's just my take on it though.
Yeah, I mean, this is a cute place. I mean, we've enjoyed our meals here before, and I can't remember what I got last time. I got a shake last time, and I don't remember what it was called. But yeah, I would prefer probably a shake or something else over a kitchen sink. However, the kitchen sink is like one of those things that you have to do if you come to Disney and you have a big group. Get the kitchen sink. It is very fun. It's a very good time. It's
a cool experience. Yeah.
Yes.
But I think you're right. In terms of like a personal thing of outside of the experience, I would prefer a shake or like a smaller little thing versus that. But yeah, if you're with a group of people, personally speaking, if it's 6 or more, maybe, because if it was me, I'd be like, I even told him, I was like, I'm not going to contribute much because I wasn't even really that hungry. And the idea of just eating endless amounts of brownies and ice cream doesn't really sound too appealing.
Right. But we were thankful that we got, invited to try it out, and
for sure.
It was cool. So
yeah. And they don't make any announcement when you're done. Somebody asked that one time. They make an announcement, they bring it out to you.
They don't say anything when you're done.
They didn't with us. I didn't hear them do it with anybody else. Because they make an announcement and say like they're gonna eat this whole thing or something, but they don't do anything after the fact.
Yeah, I didn't hear them say anything about it, so maybe I don't think they do, but
if they do, I just didn't hear it. They didn't with us, and I didn't hear it at any other table. But yeah, so I mean, all in all, it is a cool, I guess, cute little spot that's very sort of, I guess it's reminiscent of like older times. And
is it my favorite place?
Well,
not really.
That's what I was going to ask.
It's good, but it's not amazing to me.
Is this a place that you would, once you try, like I guess some of this is a novelty thing. People hear about Beaches and Cream want to try it. Outside of trying it because, the novelty of that in the kitchen sink, is this a place that you would recommend to somebody to go to, like for good food on Disney property? To go out of your way for, I should say.
I would say if you're going to be over here, if you're going to stay at beach or yacht club or stay at boardwalk, or you're coming over in that area for some reason, sure. Like good place to go. It's fun. If you're wanting a lot of ice cream, sure, go here too. If you're wanting like good, like a table service or even just a quick service, I don't know if I would say like, oh, you have to go to Beaches and Cream.
Yeah.
Unless you just want the novelty. But that is purely my opinion. I know other people feel differently and they love this place, and that is totally fine. This is my opinion.
Well, that's with anything, yeah. I think a lot of this is people that, they hear about it, they come for the first time to try it, and obviously it's not a huge place. So again, it's hard to get in here. So you can see why, it can build up people just want to try it sort of thing. I wouldn't personally recommend it. I've never been blown away by the food here. And again, I'm just picky on ice cream. I don't think the ice cream stuff is like amazing. Now, if you're staying over here and obviously like the walk-up window, you want some ice cream. Like if our daughter and our kids want some ice cream, yeah, I'd go over and get some ice cream or like whatever. I would do that. I wouldn't go out of my way though. I don't think the food is really that good. And I think given the prices you're at, I would rather maybe even pay a little bit more and go to like Ale and Compass or something nearby that I think you would just pay a little bit more per you're paying $19 for a Reuben. I could probably get $25 for something over there that's much better and probably a bigger portion. So personally speaking, for the food, I wouldn't recommend this. I would say ice cream would be the main thing. I would say, yeah, go check it out for that. But outside of that, I can't. Again, we've tried 3 or 4 different things here. I haven't been blown away by any of it. So
okay,
that's just my take, though.
All right.
So, all right. Well, that's it for Beaches and Cream. So let's talk about real quick, and I'll let Jamie talk about most of this stuff because I was doing some work during this. But there is our kids and our friends' kids did some lightsaber training. Yeah.
So we did this before we went to Beaches and Cream the same day. And so I won't give too much information about this just because I don't know as much as my friend that booked it. But she found him on Ears for Each Other Facebook group, which is the group for what's the term, furloughed cast members? Well,
it started during the pandemic for like furloughed or like laid off cast members.
Yes. So if they had a specialty or they were a certain role at Disney and they could bring that and open their own business or some way to make money while they're furloughed or they're laid off, they were using their talents to provide services for this. So
like a lot of people that used to work at Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique would offer that. Like they would come to your room and do the whole princess thing for your kid.
Yeah.
In the room.
And they still do this. I mean,
and so it's a way for you to get, you're getting a cast member who actually did this for Disney, but they're just doing it on their own. So it's just it's like a boutique type experience at this point now.
So this particular gentleman who our friend had used before, this is the second time that she had used him. He used to do the Jedi training over in Hollywood Studios. That's they were actually like on the stage.
I remember that,
right by Star Tours. Okay, and then he did say he was part of the team that worked on the Star Cruiser, getting the Star Cruiser going.
Okay,
so he was all part of that as well. And I think his name was Justin. I think, and so we had him for 30 minutes, and he just basically took us through all of the ways to like use your lightsaber, how to twirl it, how to blocking moves, how to stand with your feet, and like talking about the Force and different terms of Star Wars. And again, I'm Star Wars dumb, so I apologize, but
Star Wars
I was trying my best because our son who's 4 and he was doing it, but like I had to help him a lot to just like.
Well, it makes sense how he did this because the other day he sword fought me and he did a move and I was like, oh.
Did you do the blocking?
He blocked and then he actually did a little maneuver and I was like, oh, I wasn't expecting that. maybe it sunk in more than you think.
Well, he did.
He absorbed a lot of information.
Yeah. But yeah, so he's very patient with the kids. He's patient with them learning the terms and the movements and everything. And he'll do everything with the kids. Like he'll do the movements with them. And yeah, it was a great experience. And, you know, he was available. I think he said he had just had his wife just had their child.
Oh, okay.
And so he was technically on like paternity leave kind of. So he was doing the lightsaber training as well, but yeah, it was a great experience. So like, if you are interested in lightsaber training and you would like to use his services, I can put the information for that in the show notes, or you can just direct message me and I can give you that information as well. So,
okay.
Or go for Ears for Each Other. You can probably find him on there too.
Do you know how much it was?
I don't remember. I'd have to check with our friend.
Okay.
She has all that information. So unfortunately I don't remember that part, but I just wanted to put out that this is available if you have a kid that is interested in lightsaber training, which I know there are a lot out there.
Well, and given they don't do this, it's not like it's an experience you can do at Disney, because they used to do this as part. I remember that show. They used to be right next to Star Tours, and they would pick a kid to come out. And I remember that when like Darth Vader would come out and you would fight him and stuff. So it's it's a cool thing that you could do, especially if you got a kid that's into Star Wars.
Well, it's nice. And he came to the resort. So we just did it out in the lawn and beach club.
Yeah, I was trying to say, I mean, I'm sure they can meet you wherever. And there's always spaces at, you know, especially on Disney resorts, you can go, because how much room did you need? Like underneath a tree, basically?
Yes, that's exactly what we did.
Because it was, if I remember correctly, it was sweltering hot that day.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
But all right, well, it sounds very good. And again, they have other things in that Facebook group, like again, Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique. What did I say? Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique. I didn't say it the first time. And other things that you can find in there. So it's a cool little spot, especially if you just want to support cast members that you know, are just looking for maybe a little side income, or
absolutely.
But they have a skill set.
Absolutely.
They have a set of skills.
Yes.
All right, well, that will do it for the show. So be sure to, like I said, check us out on YouTube. We have vlogs on the main YouTube channel at Cap the Magic, and also Epic Universe construction updates, which has become a little bit of my specialty. I can break down that park for you. So if you're curious about the latest Epic Universe construction, there's a series of videos there, and we're also going to do some land previews on all of those and some other things coming there as well. But we also have vlogs. We have our Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party vlog that just came out on there, and we have at least vlogs once a week and things like that. So you can check it out there. If you want to check out the video versions of the podcast, you can go to YouTube. It's at CTM Podcast, where you check those out. And, of course, check us out on social media. We're at Cap the Magic everywhere except for TikTok, where we're at Capture the Magic. And we also have other shows. If you want to listen to us talk about other things, like Universal Studios, we have CTM Universal. And we do that show twice a month. And the next episode will be about 1 week later, because Jamie is going to be going to Halloween Horror Nights. So we'll do a whole breakdown of her experience and how many times she screamed.
769.
This is Jamie's third year going, so she's now an expert.
That is far
on
from
Halloween
true.
Horror Nights.
Oh my goodness, that is far
an expert.
Far from true.
But yeah. And then Jamie also has Trip Tales. It's her trip report show, and just had an episode there come out on Tuesday.
Yes,
And so,
sorry, it came out on Tuesday, which I usually try to do Mondays, but it was a little bit longer one, so it took a little bit of time to edit. So Tuesday it came out, and then I'll have another one come out mid-September. So usually like every 3 weeks I have one out.
There we go. And those are a really good resource if you got a trip coming up, because you're getting firsthand information from people who just went on a trip.
Yeah.
So, and if you want to be on Trip Tales, you can go to ctmtriptales.com. There's a little button that says be on Trip Tales. You can fill out a form. And Jamie will let you know if she chooses you. So, But thank you, everybody, for listening and or watching. And thank you, Jamie, for joining us.
Thank you.
And as Jamie always likes to say,
we will see you in the parks.